Alright guys, welcome back. It is time for another Comments Corner, and tonight's topic, would you buy a Linux PC? So let's take a look through all of these comments. I'll go through these as quickly as I can. Marcus Baird, what's up Marcus? If it was open source and free, why not? Well, I would imagine it would be mostly consisting of open source software. Orlando Green, what's up Orlando? You say yes, alrighty then. Geo Neil UK. Hello. This is actually a question I'm having to think about here. I have a desktop that sees mostly server duties nowadays that runs Linux, and I have a laptop that is dual boot, Windows 7 and Debian SID. Yay, Windows 7. Don't get mad, folks. I just like Windows 7. I spend most of my time in Linux, and I'd say I have less and less of a need for Windows. Oh, okay, cool. Ooh, a whole bunch of commenting here. Let's see. These are there are things I still can't do in Linux, namely gaming, my MS Office files. Well, gaming is getting better. I don't play a lot of PC games myself, but I understand about the gaming part. About the Microsoft Office files, I'm going to be reviewing an alternative for, you've been looking at LibreOffice. I will be looking at an alternative. I believe it's called Kingsoft. I downloaded it on my son's Nexus 7. It seems to be okay, so I may take a look at that later. Alright, so in the end you say the short answer is maybe. It depends on the distro. Fair enough. At the end you say, as for buying a Linux only PC, depends on two things. Okay, how things like Wine or React OS develop with regard to Windows app compatibility. React OS started 13, 14 years ago. I mean, like, is that even relevant anymore? I'm not sure. As far as Windows app compatibility, I don't think it's necessary for the Linux machine to have Windows app compatibility so much as having quality apps that are somewhat similar to Windows. And you say here what the next version of Windows is like. I believe there is an update 1 to Windows 8.1, but that's all I know. KB Bacon, hello. Sure, why not? I don't use Windows anymore anyway. Okay. Goldie Ken, there seems to be a lot of interest in Android processors running Linux, and the Mint boxes look fascinating. Yes, they are small. If a little pricey, if Linux PC is ready to run and fully working out of the box, I would most definitely be interested. I agree. Game Over Rip says, but not Ubuntu. Come on, poor Ubuntu gets no love. I like Ubuntu. You also said would certainly consider one that was primed for a good Linux distro. Absolutely. Rupee Linux was definitely I would, no questions about it. I have nothing to do with Windows anymore. Oh, you had a fight? Linux is fun and learning at the same time. A few pulling out your hair. Yeah, I know what you mean with Linux sometimes, but generally the best OS. Okay. Shadow 7, hello. Would it have a sticker designed for Linux ready? It better be ready. You want to play DVDs and Blu-rays? Oh, absolutely. The Kule Luke, I hope I'm saying it right. You say I would. Okay. Indy 457. Hey there. I would like to buy a PC with no OS. Seems like the majority of PCs sold are loaded with Windows, and all their baggage comes with Windows. Well, here's a problem I believe with buying any PC, especially Linux. If you're going to buy an empty box and then download a distro of your choice, you may run into hardware-software incompatibilities and therefore bugs. And I think the only way to avoid that is to buy it with a pre-installed Linux that hopefully has been tested before shipping, as you would buy Windows or Mac. If you buy the machine and install a distro later, I think you're defeating, I believe, you defeat the purpose of buying something that hopefully has no bugs, if it's even possible. Graham Linux, hey there, I don't know where you live, so maybe this is no use to you. Anywhere Memory Express sells computers with no operating system. Is that up in is that in the UK or Canada? Anyway, Ironclaw 6969 says, I don't know if this poll has a lot of meaning unless you qualify the answers. In the instance that I can buy what I'm looking for, I would definitely not have a problem buying a Linux PC, as Linux is the primary OS on my computing devices. Okay, a big answer. Let's see. When I bought my laptop, which happens to be the most recent computer, I looked at System 76 Zorizon. Are those any good? I think I've heard of those, both of those companies, and a few other of the Linux computer vendors, where their name escapes me. It looks like you chose Dell. Your complaint was that the alternatives exist. Your complaint isn't that the alternatives exist, but what they offer is so one size fits all that they didn't offer what I was looking for. So I'm assuming you're trying to combine certain specs with the OS. Okay. So you ended up buying a 17-inch display, Intel graphics, 6 gigabytes of memory, i3 processor. Okay, so again, you're trying to have more choices for specs, I'm assuming, as you would buying a Windows machine. Let's see, you spent over $700, got what you want, including the accessories, carrying bag, upgraded power supply. Okay. And in the end, you say, in reality, though, with the lack of customization options to make in order to meet my needs closer, I ended up having to vote otherwise with my wallet. It sounds like if there were more choices with specs, you would definitely buy one. I think that's what you're saying. Eric Brunhammer, I would definitely build my own, but yes, I would consider buying one. Cool. Restman79, I would, but likely won't. I build my own boxes, and distro installation is so easy. So easy to not necessitate a vendor doing it for me. Well, I'm not sure it's going to be that easy for beginners, although with the automatic installers, it's not that difficult. And it looks like you believe that paying a premium for pre-installed Linux is a niche or boutique. No, not at all. Once again, we're trying to avoid bugs and issues with software, hardware incompatibilities. WeebKJetGen, I'm not paying a premium for a pre-configured, basically empty system. Once again, I think for beginners, to avoid problems, I think it's best to have a pre-installed Linux machine. Edmundo Studios, I mostly use PCs for games and Photoshop, so nah, I wouldn't. I hear you. Charlie Barkett, hello, I am running Aurora 20. I need a PC. I need a PC that can do Linux better than any Microsoft. Come on, no name calling, guys. I try not to do it. I want a PC that is more compatible with Linux. I understand that, because Linux never sucks. Really, never. I don't want to be part of micro, monopoly against software. I want to be free. I want to help share my knowledge. I want the world to be free and happy world that people can share their knowledge for free. I'm with you on that one, bud. All right, well, that's it for this Comments Corner. Don't forget to vote if you haven't already. I will have links below in the show notes. You have a little over 2 weeks to vote. I have a feeling that the unqualified answer is going to be yes. So we'll see what happens. I have in mind a company that can take control of the Linux desktop for the masses, but I won't tell you now. Maybe later. All right, thank you so much for watching and listening, and as always, I will catch all of you sometime in the future.